Hey, what's up everyone? Max at 343 Labs here. We're a music production school based in New York City, Berlin, and online. And today I'd like to show you a clip by one of our instructors, Abe Duque, where he gives you an overview of subtractive synthesis. Now this clip is taken from 343 TV, which airs right here on our YouTube channel several times per week. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it.
Here. I guess today we'll start with and we'll concentrate on subtractive synthesis first, which is what analog is supposed to be, a kind of a subtractive synthesizer from maybe the late 70s or early 80s. This is this synthesizer never existed. This is an Ableton creation, but it's something that could have existed in that period. And so we're gonna, maybe in the next show I'll talk about FM or something like that, or additive, and of course wavetable, which is always very fun. But let's start with subtractive synthesis, and let me just tell you why subtractive synthesis is subtractive synthesis. It's very simple. You start with a full complement of harmonics, meaning harmonics are the overtones that you get on a sound. So let me just grab a spectrum, so show you spectrum. If you've seen me work before, you know that spectrum is something that I love and I can't live without sometimes. So if you have right now, let me just use one oscillator. So this is a saw waveform, and it's going through this kind of, I call these synth circuits, because it goes from this oscillator into this filter, which you could turn off for now, and into this amp section. So if I play this note, what you're going to get is a fundamental frequency. This one's the fundamental frequency. This is the one that you really are kind of gravitating to and hearing. This is the note that you feel. But it has a bunch of other overtones here that are, part of the harmonic series, and they make up the richness of the sound. So you start with a very harmonically rich content here, and then you take a filter and then you bring it down and subtract those frequencies to kind of mold out a sound for yourself. And you can then add a little resonance, which is basically, in this case, amplitude here at the cutoff, and you can mold out a pretty interesting sound for yourself here. So that's the idea. That's the subtractive synthesis. Now, if you ever wondered, or if you know what it is, well, now you know. Now you know exactly what subtractive synthesis is all about. It's about having an oscillator create a tone that has very nice harmonics on it, and then being able to take a filter and remove parts or mold the frequency spectrum with these filters, so that you end up with a new tone, or a tone that you've created from that. And basically, we always have three sections in a subtractive synth setup. We always have this section here, which is where the tone is created and where the pitch of the tone can be set up, and we call this the pitch section. We always have the tone section, which is controlled by the filter. So we always have pitch, tone, and then the amplitude section, where we control what happens to the sound over time. And in you guys have seen me use some of these tools before, but I'll just give you a little quick reminder of what these tools are. For example, right now we have an amplitude section here with an envelope. And an envelope is a graphic representation of what's going to happen over time to a given value. And in this case, the value is the level. So this level can be managed over time with this kind of setup here, which is the attack, decay, sustain, release that maybe you've heard of, ADSR. And basically, the attack section determines how fast the sound is going to peak out to its highest point in this level. The decay section is going to show how long it takes to get down to the sustain level. When it sits at the sustain level and I'm holding the key down, so if I'm holding this key down, It first peaked out to the loudest point. Let me open up the filter. It first peaked out to the loudest point, and then it came down to the sustain level. So you'll notice that this was louder, and then it came down. Watch. See, first louder, and then came down. And that's the level that we are right now. When I let it go, it'll go into this last section, which will be the release. And then that means how long it takes to let go. So if I put a very long release on it, it takes a very long time. See, I'm not holding it anymore. It takes a very long time for it to let go and for it to dissipate. So these times can be set exact. So here we have exact time. So our attack is a 1.11 second attack rate, and then the decay is only 626 milliseconds to get to this level, which is the sustain level, which is 50% of the possible level. And then the release, which is set to 469 milliseconds, and it makes this sound. So if you wanted to make a more, like I say, a violin sound, you might want to extend the attack. So that's a little too extended. Let's extend it just a little less so it could be a little louder. And raise the volume here. Okay, and that would be kind of a more violin sound. But if you want a more kind of in-your-face sound, a little stabbier sound, then we make the attack super fast, so it just hits you. It comes at you really immediately. Okay, all right. So that's the basics of how the envelope works. You'll see envelopes for other things as well as we keep moving forward. But right now, I just want to make a sound. So I want to get back to writing this track. I want to drop that part that I created in here, and I'm going to just take that part and drop it right into this analog here, and I don't need it here anymore. So I'm going to click on it and hit 0. 0 on Ableton with any part or any clip just disables it, so it doesn't let it play. So here we are. Let's turn off the metronome now. Pretty cool, but let's make a better sound with this. I'm jumping to places that I don't want it to jump to. I don't know why. Okay, let's make a better sound. So now we have that one sound, and once again, I'll just demonstrate how it sounds like if I make it, swell in or come in immediately. I can make it shut down like that. Right now, the decay goes down to 0, so I could make a very short sound. This is referred to as like a percussive envelope because it's just attack and decay, and that's it. Let's do that, and let's add a second oscillator. So this second oscillator could be here, and maybe we'll lower that one an octave, and maybe detune it a little bit. Wow, that's nice and fat now. So watch what happened. We went from that. We made a second oscillator which we had exactly the same, and now it's on top of each other, and it's a little pinching. It's a little synced, so they're pinching now. But I'm gonna relieve the pressure there by bringing that one down to 1 octave, and then always cool when you have two oscillators playing to just detune one slightly off of the other one, because you get that super thick, very nice sound from it. Play with the filter. Okay, so let's see, a little resonance in there.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget 343 TV goes live right here on our YouTube channel several times per week. And if you want to learn more about music production or just want to join our community, you can find more information at 343labs.com or 343labs.de for our German website. See you next time.